everybody. Today we're going to talk really briefly about how you can collect your data for the Deans Symposia or closing the loop activity, whichever you prefer to refer to it as. Now let's just say hypothetically the report is due in January, close to the end of January, and the Director of Assessment, being the pesky fellow that he is, has not had a chance to return your material to you, your compiled data. This video tutorial will give you an opportunity to compile the data on your own. The first thing you're going to want to do is start on the assessment home page. You'll go to Academic Assessment, and you're going to select the calendar year that you plan to report out on. So if this was January 2019, you'd select the 2018 full calendar year plan. Because we're still in the midst of working on this calendar year plan, I'm going to go back to a semester. We used to do these semester by semester, in which all of the data is already entered. So we'll go to fall 2017 assessment plans for now. So once you come in here, you're going to look for your program. We're going to use accounting. And you're going to see that the ISLO communication and the ISLO critical thinking, they were assessed during the 2017 academic year. See, there's 4 sections of Accounting 101 that were to be assessed for the fall 2017 semester. So you'll go over to Task Stream, and you're going to find the course, Accounting 101. You'll go into the Course Assessment Workspace. Oh, that's a lovely sound. And you're going to go to the corresponding semester. This is fall 2017 that we're going to prepare a report on. We're going to go to the Course Assessment Findings. I always recommend that you click on the overall recommendations first. No text specified. Most faculty don't enter information here, but occasionally you'll find someone who does, and it's important to keep that, copy and paste it over into your Excel spreadsheet, okay, or your Word document, wherever you plan to compile and keep your data. Things don't need to be quite as uniform as they have been historically. The important thing is that you collect the data and that you're able to report out in a PDF format or in a PowerPoint format or Prezi or whatever it might be that you use, Keynote, whatever. So in any event, here's the Excel spreadsheet that I typically use, created by the Office of Institutional Effectiveness. It's really good at what it does. We get to identify the subject, the course, the sections participating, 4 total sections, and spoiler alert, 4 out of 4 met it, right? I'm sure you weren't too concerned with the dramatic tension in this circumstance. Accounting 101, there's some additional supplementary information down here, recommendations, reflections, and notes, and we'll get to those in just a minute. So we're back here in the findings. We're looking for 4 courses that were assessed for critical thinking. Well, here's a measure that's identified as being an ACU value rubric measure for critical thinking. We've got 3 CRNs. In the future, we want to try to avoid having several CRNs consolidated into a single measure. This is going to be incredibly important when we begin to automate reporting out procedures. Right now, because we're doing it manually, it's not a huge deal, but it will become in the future. And we have the findings. Yay, everything that we need is there. We have 1 more CRN. It's identified as a ACU value rubric in critical thinking. Awesome. And we also have the findings. Okay, so let's take a look at where the targets met or exceeded. It was exceeded in 1 section, and it was met in the other 3 sections. Okay, and the details are here, which we don't need to worry too much about at the moment. Come over here, identify that 4 out of 4 were met, identify the total sections selected, total sections assessed, and the sections meeting or exceeding the target. Boom. Now, the numerical data, it is important, obviously, but really what's most important is the qualitative information, which we're adding down here. What did the faculty say about their findings? In the future, some changes are going to be made, perhaps, right? Okay, or maybe labeling of the statements wasn't as accurate as it could be, and then some idiosyncrasies are identified that maybe skewed the results in one direction or the other, and all of that information is what we're really concerned with in the Deans Symposia. What's your interpretation of the data? What does the data mean, and what kind of action plan can you produce as a result of that? So collection of the data is one thing. But reporting out is something a little bit different. All the information you need is here, but reporting out on it requires a little bit of interpretation. In any event, this tutorial was just designed to show you how to access and compile the data, both quantitative and qualitative data, so that you can begin to work on your Deans Symposia presentation. I hope this helps for you folks. You can always email me at jonesk@canton.edu if you have any questions. Thanks so much for tuning in.